Yo, 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 yo. What is poppin', people? Got some things to clear up first, real quick, before we get into the main topic of the video. There we go. Yeah. Because I got it open on YouTube. And, crap. Yeah, I got it open on YouTube, and I got this open on StreamYard where I'm streaming right now. So I have to manage both. So that's why I had to mute it real quick before we get in. But what's up, everybody? We are back here for a new stream. Before we get into it, let me know if the stream is acting up for you guys, because sometimes it'll glitch, sometimes it won't. So let me know if the stream is acting up at any point in time, and I will try to fix it on my end if I can. But we are back here again. Not going to waste any time today. We're just going to get into the main topic, and because we got some things to cover in this stream. So it's going to be first Patreon breakdowns. Then we're going to do a Q&A because a lot of people had questions about the first book and the first chapter, because the first chapter goes up in about, how long is it? 3 weeks time. Yeah, give it about 3.5 weeks, give or take. And then, yeah, any other questions you have about the series overall, pretty much anything in general regarding the series, I'll answer it. So, yeah, welcome to the first dedicated stream. It's freezing a little, so I think that's just a problem with the software and my laptop. I'm upgrading to a new PC in a few weeks, which should be more than enough to completely get rid of the freezing. So just bear with me until I get my new PC and get some upgrades with my YouTube equipment pretty soon. But if it's freezing, it's probably just because of the software, and my computer is not really that powerful to run this. So trying my best on my end. But welcome back to the first dedicated True Alpha stream, and I would say probably about 1.5 years. It's been a really long time since I talked about True Alpha on my YouTube channel, mainly because I didn't really have a lot of stuff set up, so I couldn't really talk about the book. But now that I've done my research and know what to do in terms of background stuff, I'm not going to get into those details clearly, but now that I know what to do and what I need to get done in order to make it happen, we can talk about the book 100%. Don't got to worry about anything, so we're good to go. So for those of you guys who are just getting in, we have about 13, 14 people in stream. I think more people will come in over time. They're just going to have to go back, because I'm not going to repeat stuff I've already said before. If they ask, tell them to go back in the stream and watch it. But we are going to first go over the Patreon tiers. Then we can... So we're going over the Patreon tiers first. Then we are going over Q&A. Basically, y'all can ask questions about the first chapter and the first book overall. Any questions you have regarding that, I'll answer them 100%. Then I think it will be posted on Webtoon or something. No, it's not Webtoon. It's Patreon. Then what made you think it was Webtoon, dude? Did you not see the thumbnail for the stream? No, nothing Webtoon related at all, bro. I will explain everything in the stream. Don't go around saying that, because it's not Webtoon. But anyway, and then after that, any questions you have on the series overall, I will answer in the stream too. So we're going to get started. Like I said, more people will probably come in over time as the stream continues, but we're going to just go to Patreon real quick. So I'm going to share my screen to Patreon so I can get into the tiers and start breaking them down. Because a lot of people had questions. They were like, bro, what are... They were like, what are the Patreon tiers? We want to know. So when we subscribe, we want to know what we're subscribing to. Well, you're gonna get all that today. So, hold on. There's a question. Rex says, why are the werewolf forms so nightmarish? I'll get into that too. All questions you have regarding the series, I'll get into when we get into that portion of the stream. But hold on, before I share my screen, if you see the you guys see the thing scrolling at the bottom of the screen. To support the channel, you guys need to send a super sticker or a super chat. And to have a question answered, just at me and I'll probably see it. It'll probably I don't know, come on my screen or something, I'll probably see it firsthand. So yeah, just that. Also, my mods who are in here, make sure to share with everybody the Discord link for everybody who has not joined Discord yet. For people who want to join Discord, the link will be posted throughout the stream by mods, so you guys can join that if you're interested. And I think that's about it. Yeah, I think that's it. So let's share my screen. Let's share my screen to Patreon. All right. It looks a little weird on here. I'm going to get rid of the banner. Okay, there we go. It looks a little weird. Can I move my screen? Oh, crap. Actually. Can y'all still hear me? Let me know. Let me know if you guys can still hear me. Let me know in chat. All right. All right. So y'all can still hear me. Good. Okay. So on screen, as you guys are seeing right now, this is where you guys are going to be able to read each chapter of True Alpha every single month when I post a new chapter. It's not the page you're going to see. It's going to be a little different from this, but this is the Patreon page. If you guys saw my True Alpha update videos from about, I would say, almost a month ago, I told you guys that you're going to be able to read it on Patreon. A lot of you guys are like, what is Patreon? So I'm going to get into that in a couple of... We're going to get to it soon. But yeah, this is basically like what the page, at least on my end, looks like. And I think it's better to show you guys like this because you have like all the detailed tiers and stuff. There's 3. So here you have my YouTube banner. It's just going to be the banner for Patreon. Because I was going to make another one, but I was like, we'll probably just use the YouTube one. People recognize it. Got my logo. Then it says creating books / novels and illustration. I don't know if you guys are going to see it. You guys might see this on your end, but I don't know. So here are the memberships. So there's 3 you guys can subscribe to. You don't have to subscribe to each one. You guys can subscribe to one. That's fine. So first membership we have is the Omega tier. So the Omega tier is $5 a month. And when you pay $5 a month for this specific tier, it'll give you updates on True Alpha. So in this tier, I'll update you guys on like writing, progression on the plot and stuff like that, what's new with the series and all the other, stuff relating to that. And you'll also get exclusive members only Jade's Corner content. So I might like post videos like maybe for like videos on me. Like if you guys are interested, you guys have to let me know what you want to see in this tier or what type of videos you think should be exclusive to this. I'll let you guys decide that. But yeah, it's pretty much going to be exclusive content. I won't post on the main channel. It'll only be on the Patreon. It'll be on each of the tiers. So that is the Omega tier. It's pretty bare bones. I don't think anybody's really going to subscribe to this one or want to, unless you're just like low on cash flow and you only want to, you still want to show your support, but you can't pay for the beta tier. This one is fine. Now the next tier is the beta tier. This one is where, I think everybody's most likely going to subscribe to. And then the alpha tiers for like, we'll get into that soon. But in the beta tier, you guys have access to each True Alpha chapter as they release monthly. And it includes all the benefits that were offered to you in the Omega tier, obviously. So below this, you have a description of what you'll get in bullet points. So it's True Alpha, each chapter as they release monthly. First chapter releases September 2nd, obviously. Then it's pretty much all the stuff that was listed on the Omega tier that's part of this tier too. So you have everything in the beta tier you could get from the Omega tier. Plus, you'll get the True Alpha chapters as they release monthly on top of the updates. So I think this is the one everybody's probably going to subscribe to the most, in my personal opinion. Then the last one is probably the one where if you're willing to pay $20 a month, you're going to get quite a few things, which will probably be beneficial for you. So last one is the Alpha tier. And in this tier, you'll have access to every True Alpha chapter as they release monthly, of course, just like the beta tier. True Alpha volumes, which is basically like the full books. Like, okay, so how that works is once all the chapters of a storyline are released, so let's say like the Alpha storyline, right, which is the first storyline of True Alpha, which is the first 10 chapters. Once the first 10 chapters are done, that will be the first book. So like once it says it on screen here too, but I'm just like letting you guys know just in case you can't read the screen clearly. Because I know it's kind of weird with StreamYard and stuff, but I'm just gonna, explain it to you guys now. But after each chapter is done, it'll be basically a book or a volume, whatever you want to call it. Either one doesn't really matter. It's the same thing. And they will only be released in the Alpha tier. So the Alpha tier, you'll get the updates, you'll get the monthly chapters, and as an addition, you will also get the full books once the full story arcs are done and all the chapters for that specific story arc are released. So later, like when we get into the Q&A for the series, I can pretty much talk all the way up until book 6, because I have like the first half of the series all planned out and done. So we'll save those for the series Q&A part of the stream. But yeah, also underneath it says includes benefits from the beta tier. And then in addition to that, it says also members of this tier will be able to request illustration commissions or digital art pieces for Teen Wolf or True Alpha. Other series will be added over time. And in bullet points down here, you basically have what I just said. So you get the True Alpha volumes, which are available after all the chapters of a story arc have been released. Then you get, of course, all the stuff in the beta and Omega tiers, plus the illustration down below. So True Alpha monthly chapters, access to early updates on True Alpha and exclusive Patreon-only Jade's Corner content. Then you will get access to illustration commissions, Teen Wolf or True Alpha. Other properties will be added down the line. So when I mean like other properties, it would probably be like Supernatural, like if you guys want Supernatural art, Vampire Diaries art, kind of like if you want me to draw Klaus or something, or if you want me to draw like Stefan, Damon, Scott, Styles, stuff like that, that'll also be part of the Alpha tier too. So Alpha tier is for if you want just a little bit extra than you would get with the beta tier, then you would join this one. So yeah, beta tier is $10 a month. So once you pay the $10, you won't have to pay another $10 until the next month comes around to renew your subscription to continue reading True Alpha. And then the Alpha tier is the most expensive of the three. It's $20 a month. So I don't think it's too bad. $5 for the Omega, $10 for the beta, and then $20 for the Alpha. I think that should be okay for everyone, in my honest opinion. So yeah, that's basically it. There's really nothing much to go over with Patreon. That's pretty much how it's going to work. Like I said, I'm going to go over it like in briefly once again. I guess we can stop sharing the screen now. Okay, so yeah, Omega tier, if you just want the updates and you can't afford to read True Alpha yet, then subscribe to that one. You'll still get the members only Jade's Corner videos and content, whatever you guys want me to post in there, or whatever I decide I want to post in there. And you'll get the updates on True Alpha, obviously, as mentioned before. Beta tier, that's for those who want to read True Alpha and get all the benefits of the Omega tier. Then on top of that, with the Alpha tier, you'll get the volumes once they're fully completed, the story arcs and all the chapters for that specific volume or book, on top of the monthly chapters. So you won't have to wait for the volumes to come out. You'll have the monthly chapters, and then in addition, you'll have the volumes too in the Alpha tier, plus the updates, plus the exclusive Jade's Corner members only content, plus illustration commissions if you guys want some cool digital art from me. If you guys want to see what my art style is like, you can ask me too. I'll show you like a couple of like art pieces for my portfolio so you guys can like get a feel for like what my style is. So yeah, that's pretty much Patreon in a nutshell. If you guys have any additional questions, I will answer them now before we move on to the book and talking about the book and the first book in chapter 1 to be released September 2nd. So any questions on Patreon before I move on, you guys can ask now. So ask away and I'll answer them. All right, so Fanboy 2021 says, at the end of the book, will you come out with a hard copy or put it in the merchandise? I really don't like reading books electronically. Eventually, I want to get hard copies of them. Like, eventually, I want to print them out and ship them, but that might not be for a few years, so you might have to wait on that. But eventually, the goal is to, like, get physical versions of them in hard copies, so, yeah. Hopefully that answers your question. Wouldn't that be a spoiler? Not really, because I'm not going to reveal super spoilery stuff. Crap, that came off. That sounded really weird. Spoilery stuff that will like spoil big plot lines from the series. It'll probably be like general stuff about each of the seasons, like villains, overall like storyline, not like the super detailed stuff. So no, it's not a spoiler. The alpha tier sounds absolutely dope. Yeah, I wanted to make it super special for all of you guys. Okay, there's a bunch of questions coming in. I'm trying to get through them one at a time. Bear with me. Alpha tier sounds absolutely dope. Yeah, so with alpha tier, I pretty much wanted to make it something where you guys could like enjoy the benefit of reading True Alpha and also get something a little bit extra that I thought you guys would appreciate too. So I had to really think about what I would put in there, and I think you guys are gonna really enjoy it. For those who want to pay for that specific tier, can you do a backflip? So I gained a lot of weight during COVID, as you can tell in my earlier videos from like 2019. I looked like a completely different person. So I can't do a backflip anymore, but I used to be able to do one with relative ease. So yeah, hopefully once I start, getting this weight off again and start, working out and get this weight off, I can start to do flips again. Because I used to enjoy doing them a lot with my friends and like trampolines and stuff. Why is everything cool happening in my birth month? That's dope that all my True Alpha stuff is happening in your birth month. Can I get a Hoya? I don't know what that means, but yeah. Jade's Corner, out of all three main characters, who is the most alpha-like? So when you say like all three main characters, clarify what you mean, because there's a lot of main characters, but I know who the main three are. I just need to know what's going on in your head on who you think the main three are. Because I know who the main three are, but seasons. I was going to mention something related to that in this stream. I don't know if we should get it. I think I might save that for the next True Alpha stream, which will be next Sunday. So, yeah. Actual question. Is it kind of like Wolfpack where there won't be that many connections to main characters other than the supernatural system? I don't know what. I'm confused. Like, do you mean like there won't be any connections to Teen Wolf? Because this like True Alpha is completely unrelated from Teen Wolf. Yes, some of the actors and their face models are like back for True Alpha, but their characters are completely different from any of the characters they played in Teen Wolf. Like, this isn't a spoiler, so I might as well tell you guys. But since we're on like book one questions, sorta, we're getting there. We're still on Patreon, but I guess I can answer this real quick. But like Scott Delgado is a completely different character than Scott McCall is. Like, Scott kills. My Scott, he kills. Like, and he's not afraid to do it. Like, if he has to, he will kill. So yeah, completely different than Scott McCall, without question. The only similarity they share is that It's Tyler Posey, and their first name is Scott. That's literally it. Their personalities are completely different. So, guess that answers your question, I guess. Are the werewolves stronger in this book and not getting jobbed out to humans? Yes, they are. Humans get destroyed. Wait till y'all read the first chapter. I'm not saying jack shit. Wait till y'all read it. The ending, y'all are gonna be like, yeah, this series is valid. It's better than Teen Wolf. Hell yeah. Because I was going through reading the draft because I'm working on the final copy right now. And the draft, bro, oh my god, the stuff I came up with for that finale for the end of chapter 1 was crazy. So yes, the werewolves are completely stronger than humans. You're not going to see humans bodying werewolves unless the werewolves are like at a clear disadvantage. Then yeah, maybe, or like that'll be like acceptable, but you're not going to see them jobbing out to humans. Hell no. The Hoya means you gotta moan. Oh hell no, I'm not doing that shit. You want to get me demonetized, bro? Nah, I'm good. Yo, hey, Hookaway, what's up, man? Like Scott, LJ, and Derek of those three. Okay, so you were thinking like me. Okay, so yeah, he knows. So of those three, I would say the most alpha like is probably Scott, and I guess that would get into later volumes. I'll also explain in this stream what the title of True Alpha really means, because True Alpha has a deeper meaning to it. Like it's not just there was True Alpha in Teen Wolf, so he copied that, so he named his series True Alpha. Like no, there's a deeper meaning to the series itself being called True Alpha. So yeah, of those three, Scott is definitely the most alpha like for sure. LJ's more, he's smart, but he's very reckless. You'll understand what I mean when you read the later chapters of the first story arc, and especially the second story arc, because he gets really reckless later on. Have you already talked about the merch? Because I logged on kind of late. No, I think I'm gonna do a separate stream for merch. That'll probably be a much shorter one than this, or I'll make a video talking about merch. But we're not talking about merchandise in the stream. It is ready, but I want to save that for another video, not this one. This one's completely focused on True Alpha. So, what kind of creatures will there be in True Alpha besides the average werewolf? Okay, so this is a big question, and I have a list because I made a note of everything that I came up with in True Alpha. Ooh, excuse me. Here, including all the villains, all the main cast, all the story arcs. So, actually, I think I could tell you most of them off the top of my head. So, obviously, there's werewolves, Kanema, Kitsune. There's a bunch of different type of kitsunes y'all are gonna see. Would that be a spoiler if I reveal who the kitsunes are? I guess not. It's not too big of a spoiler. I guess not. Let's see. So I'm going in book order. So it's gonna be werewolves, kanemas, kitsunes, oni. No Kitsune, but I kind of fit that into Kitsune, so that's why I was kind of like, do I want to separate the two? Siphoners, if you watch, familiar with those. Wendigo, Skinwalkers, God damn it, vampires, hellhounds, demons, angels, archangels. Crap. What else? There's a bunch. Lowenminch. I said Wendigo, right? I think I said Wendigo. Werebear, Wereshark, Chimeras, And there's more, but those are off the top of my head without wasting like a bunch more time. Those are like the main ones that come to mind. SPH, it's not Scott McCall, it's Scott Delgado. Learn to differentiate the two. Like I said before, they are two completely separate characters. They are not the same. So stop calling it Scott McCall. It's not Scott McCall. This Scott would eat Scott McCall alive any day of the week. Trust me. You'll know what I mean once we finish the first chapter. He plays 0 games. This Scott is completely different. The only similarity is their first name and the fact that they're both Tyler Posey. That's it. So, for real dope, you go into Scott Delgado's character. That would be, or would that be too much of a spoiler? No, it's not really a spoiler because it's part of the synopsis and like other stuff. I'll get into that in a little bit once we talk about like the series and stuff. If I guess we're on the next thing, so I can change the banner. We're not talking about Patreon anymore, so yeah, we're clearly on True Alpha stuff. If it becomes a big hit, you're gonna turn it into a TV show because you would make a killing on that. I was gonna tell y'all I had plans for that this stream, but I want to save it for the next stream. I don't want the stream being like 4 hours long because it'll kill my throat. But and I gotta record all the videos for this week for the channel, so I don't want to lose my voice. But yeah, that'll be saved for the next stream. Only way I can see a human even doing anything to these supernatural creatures is turning them into cyborgs. If not, then they shouldn't be beating the creature so easily. Yeah, that's something I did not like about Teen Wolf at all. I didn't like how humans were throwing hands with supernaturals way too often. That's something I definitely wanted to do less of in my universe. So I want to see True Alpha as a TV show. Yeah, I want to make the series kind of like Invincible, if y'all are familiar with that on Amazon. Animated, violent, bloody, not for kids. Like, because the book isn't really for kids either. It's very, very violent. It's very, very gory. It's very much like rated R and for mature Teen Wolf. That's the best way to describe it. Like, it's not Teen Wolf, but if I had to describe it to something else, it's probably Teen Wolf rated R edition. So I mess with LJ because he's a brother. Yeah, we had to get more African American werewolves in there. You know the vibes, bro. Is there gonna be any evolved werewolf equivalent, like characters that can turn into a full wolf and just not half shift? Yes. I'll explain all the werewolves and the different types when we get to the series part of the stream. That's a series question because not all of them appear in the first book, obviously. It's gonna build up to a lot of the other ones you see. So will weresharks be weak on land or the same? Okay, so for weresharks, the closest thing I can compare it to, because weresharks don't appear for a while, like that's like later half of the series stuff. Think about King Shark from the Suicide Squad and the Flash on CW. That's the closest thing weresharks are going to be like. Think of King Shark if you're a fan of the Flash. Are you in the book since you have a picture of yourself as an alpha in the profile pic? No, I'm not in the book. There's a character that shares the same name as me, LJ, but I'm not in the book. I only drew myself as an alpha because I wanted, I thought it would be cool. And it'd be cool as like my own like profile pic, separating myself from like the styles image I used for my profile pic or the old one I used with the JC over it. So yeah, I'm not in the book, bro. My dog is a skinwalker. Is it really? Imagine a wereshark running at you. Yeah. Does Delgado get any woman? Yes, he does. Bro, he gets a girl in the first chapter, which is not really a spoiler. Like the only book that's like similar, and I use heavy air quotes because it's same plot beats, but it's very different in execution. As like Teen Wolf is chapter 1, or like not chapter 1, book 1 Other than that, nothing related at all, bro. But like the beginning, it kind of has a Teen Wolf feel, but not really. So yeah, facts. They got the water advantage too. You should get True Alpha animated in the future. That's the goal. Either on I want it either on Amazon or HBO Max or maybe Hulu. That's the goal. Invincible style would be really good. Hell yeah. Bro, Jade, you gotta take over the CW and get rid of that garbage and give us better shows. Bro, I don't want the CW attached to my I don't want it, bro. Oh my gosh. Does magic and sorcery exist in your series? Kinda, but not really. It depends on what you mean by magic. Oh yeah, druids are back. And I guess witches and warlocks to a degree. Even though in my series they kind of fit in the same vein as druids. The CW died the second they canceled the Vampire Diaries universe, bro. Yeah, I guess I can get into some details about book 1, like just go over what's in it, since we can talk about it now. So, actually, as a matter of fact, I have a whole wiki. So, I'm going to share my screen to entire screen. Okay, so you guys are seeing the whole entire screen. Yeah, so let me go back to stream. Okay. Actually, how do I... Damn. Actually, I think I can access it in Google. Hold on, guys. Give me a minute. Because if I can access it on here, then I should be able to share the tab and it should be fine for you guys. I was thinking like the Order. I've never played the Order. Are Were-Jaguars a thing in True Alpha? Yes, they are. For real, I love the new profile pic. Thanks. Appreciate it. Drew it myself. If you guys are wondering who created that, I made it myself. So yeah, I it was kind of weird drawing myself as an alpha, but yeah, I created that new profile pic myself, drew it from scratch. So Jade, if you have Were-Panthers in your books, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be the most popular supernatural creature. Yeah, Were-Panthers are in there too. Somebody suggested I add them in last year, and I was like, that would be dope. So I decided to add them in. Are we talking Were-Jaguar or something you actually made? So when I mean Were-Jaguars, kind of, have you guys seen the Hellboy movie with David Harbour? The one that came out in 2019. There was a Were-Jaguar in that film that can turn into an actual jaguar. The Were-Jaguars are going to be like that. Or I'll bring up another tab so I can show you guys what I mean when I say Were-Jaguar. Were-Jaguar Hellboy 2019. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Yeah, when I say Were-Jaguars, I mean like this, like what you guys are seeing on screen here. Like the Were-Jaguars are gonna look like this. These are the ones from Hellboy, the one that came out with David Harbour. Yeah, these are gonna be the Were-Jaguars. They're gonna look like actual jaguars, bro. No, there's no Were-Cheetahs. Yeah, the Were-Jaguars, they're no joke. They some savages, bro. But yeah, this is gonna be the general look for them. Oh, there's a GIF so you guys can see. But yeah, that is the Were Jaguar and what it looks like in True Alpha, or at least a glimpse at what it's gonna look like. How strong is the Kanima compared to other creatures in True Alpha? I would say it's pretty up there. I can also show you guys what the Kanima is gonna look like, or similar. It's not the same 1F Teen Wolf. It's very different. It's still a reptile, but it's very different. Think Killer Croc from Batman. If you guys are DC fans. Actually, where is... Okay, we can use that one. That's fine. All right, I'm going to share my screen again. Yeah, so this is what like the beta Kanima is going to look like. Essentially, it's going to look like Killer Croc from DC, sort of. It's going to have the same stature, same look, same general appearance. I would say the closest Killer Croc for what it looks like is probably Batman Arkham Origins. Killer Croc, yeah, this one. This is going to be the closest to what the Kanima looks like in the base, like beta Kanima look. Are we going to see Kanima with the wings? No, Kanimas will not have wings at all. And then the Alpha Kanima is going to look like how Killer Croc looked like in Batman Arkham Knight. So it's going to have a tail. It's going to look more monstrous. Yeah, kind of like that. That's going to be what the Alpha Kanima looks like, essentially. Very monstrous in design, very huge, probably like 9-10 feet tall. So yeah, Alpha Kanimas, no joke. They're no joke. Do vampires and werewolves go to war in this book like an Underworld? Yeah, there's a whole backstory on that, but that's like stuff revealed later on in the series. But yeah, they do go to war for sure, 100%. I always loved the idea of how Underworld executed vampires and werewolves, like how they go to war and stuff. I always thought that made sense between the two species. So I wanted to include that same dynamic with my universe too and give it like a new, rich sort of take on it. So yeah, also the vampires are pretty terrifying in this series too. Like they're not your Twilight or even, I would say, like Lost Boys type of vampires. They're kind of like the ones from Fright Night, both the remake and the original. So yeah, they're pretty terrifying. I'll show you what the vampires are going to kind of look like too. Have you seen Harley Quinn on HBO Max? I think if True Alpha ever had a TV show, it should have the same level of gore. You can literally search up the fight scenes and see how gory Harley Quinn is. I've seen a couple of clips. I know what you're talking about. But yeah, that's going to be what the Alpha Kanima looks like. That's like volume 2 stuff. Damn. Are you serious? All right. Hold on. Give me a minute. Because I have an easier way of showing you guys all the other True Alpha stuff, but I have to get it set up first before I can share the screen. So bear with me. Give me a few minutes. I'll continue to read your questions while I get it set up, though. Okay. Yeah, bro. How many actually in terms of the werewolves? How many types of werewolves are there? So you have, let's see, you have Omega, Beta, Alpha, Enhanced Alpha, Demon Wolf, which is an actual thing in my universe, unlike Teen Wolf, where it's not an actual thing. It's just hyperbole and Deucalion hyping himself up. But Demon Wolf's an actual thing. True Alpha, Evolved Werewolf, and then Legendary Werewolf. So there's a bunch of different type of werewolves in my verse, bro. Like it's kind of crazy to the extent that I, wanted to drive the lore and how deep it is. So yeah. I do not know why it's doing that. It's very weird. Okay, never mind. Sorry about that. Damn. I'm trying to see if I can get this damn wiki to appear on like what am I using? I'm using Google Chrome so I can share the tab instead of sharing the whole screen. Okay, I think this should work. Yeah, I think I have to sign it again. But hold on, let me leave. You guys asked a few questions, so let me answer them real quick. Since I'm assuming we're in the show half of this Q&A, I will ask once more, why are the werewolves so rad and nightmarish? So one of the first things I had in mind when coming up with my own universe was making the show and the books as terrifying as possible, because I grew up with a lot of horror stuff. And in my opinion, I think the scariest era for horror was the 1980s, respectfully. I think the 1980s practical effects destroy any CGI that comes out today for horror. Like, it's not even close. And some of the werewolves and what they look like in the 80s, especially like movies like The Howling, American Werewolf in London, etc., put werewolves today, and especially Teen Wolf and stuff, to absolute shame. Like, it's pretty embarrassing. So I wanted to get that 1980s horror feel to the werewolves and how they look present in my series. So in terms of the design, it was an inspired look from Teen Wolf. Like, I wanted to take the Teen Wolf base design, improve upon it greatly, and make it look as terrifying as possible. So in order to do that, I had to combine Attack on Titans, like Titan design, with Teen Wolf's general look for their werewolves. And then I came up with a completely original look, which is the look you see on the cover of book one, or not book one, of chapter one, for Scott in his fully transformed wolfed out state. So that's why they look so terrifying and nightmarish, if that answers your question. What is the difference between a druid and a witch in your series? So I haven't really gone over the powers and abilities of druids yet. That's something that I still need to work on, so I can't really answer that question right now. So yeah, apologies. Oh my god, I love to see Demon Wolf. How do you even achieve Demon Wolf in wolf form? Is that a spoiler for book 3, part 1? I don't think it is, because it kind of ties into demons and werewolves. So I guess I can get into it, but I'll get into it in a little bit. I'll come back and answer your question. Unrelated question. Do you know why Jeff didn't put vampires in Teen Wolf? It's because he said he never had any interest in doing that. He never wanted to add vampires. So yeah, he didn't add vampires because it would make the series unoriginal or something. That's what I think Jeff Davis said. Yeah, it was something kind of like that. I'm sorry, but that Canema might look more scary than the werewolves. Yeah, the Canema is pretty terrifying, especially some of the scenes I came up with for book 2 and how it kills people. It's very, very terrifying. Jeff didn't incorporate vampires because they were being overdone in pop culture at the time. Yep. Is the lore of True Alpha like Teen Wolf, how the wolves and supernatural creatures were created, or is it something different? It's something different. It's not the same as Teen Wolf. It's very different. The closest I can compare it to is probably Underworld. Underworld is probably the closest thing I can compare it to for how a lot of the creatures were made. Didn't you say Deucalion became a demon wolf by making a deal with a demon to gain his power? Damn it, why did you have to say that? I was going to get into it. God damn it. Damn, Jay Melvin, why you spoil that shit for everybody? But anyway, yeah, that's Demon Wolf for any of you guys who wanted to know. Jay Melvin got to it before I was going to get to it, so thanks for that. No, I'm just playing with you, but yeah, thanks for that anyway. I guess I answered that guy's question, but I was going to get into it in a little bit because I don't know. I can really see the inspiration you took from Pure Titans and Attack on Titan. You did a pretty good job in that respect. Yeah. I remember when I first revealed the designs like 2 years ago, people were like, bro, this man really made his werewolf look scary as shit like the Titans from Attack on Titan. I'm like, yeah, that was kind of the idea. But yeah. Jade, I remember you said that the werewolves in True Alpha have a form that's uniquely to them. Is that only for them or other supernatural creatures too? It's only specifically for werewolves. Only werewolves have actually. Nah, screw that. It's for werewolves and vampires. Werewolves and vampires have forms that's exclusively unique to them. Like Scott's fully wolfed out form looks completely different from LJ's. And then LJ's looks completely different from Derek's wolf form. So, yeah. Okay, it's working now. I can access the wiki. Thank you. All right, about to share my screen so y'all can see. Yep, it's working. Finally, I don't know why it wasn't working before. So let's share. Oh, hold on. There's more questions. Do all or most supernatural species have alphas? I know obviously werewolves have and cannibals do, but do jaguars have some too? Yeah, most of the supernatural species have alphas. You find that out in the first book. I don't remember which chapter I like touch on it though. Do Kanima still bond with people? I'd really despise a rehash of Teen Wolf plot because it was kind of mid. No, they don't. Canimas have a mind of their own. They don't. I thought that shit was stupid in Teen Wolf. I was like, bro, Canimas, bro, why? That was so dumb to me. Like, nah, they have a complete. Just think of them as like out of control, uncontrollable, wild beast that. Yeah, you pretty much have to deal with them if you ever encounter with one right on the spot because they're out of control. And they're very hard to deal with. I will say that. Sorry, I just remembered you saying something like that in a stream. Didn't know if it was real or just an idea. No, it was real. It was real, bro. It's all good. It's all good. Have you seen the Order series on Netflix? The way they portrayed magic was really cool and interesting. No, I have not seen it, the show on Netflix, but I have heard of it though. If it's good, I'll check it out if I have time. Because I'm very busy. I'm even busier now than I used to be. So, yeah, I'll check it out whenever I have time. And that can explain why I also still have not watched Superman and Lois. So, do Kanima still get turned by a bite gone wrong? Some of them they do. No. I don't know why I answered. I don't know why I answered it like that. No. Sorry, that's not the answer I wanted to tell you. I'm thinking of the Canimas from Teen Wolf now. No, it's completely different. So how Canimas, how you discovered Canimas in True Alpha, it's kind of like some of the creatures in Supernatural, like how some of them are just like born that way. So Canimas are more so a genetic thing, like it's a hereditary thing passed down generation through generation. Like you can't, like if a Canima bites you or scratches you, you can't become one. You have to be just born that way. So yeah. Or is it a separate thing with its own lore? Yeah, I kind of just answered that. It's a separate thing with its own lore. There's werewolves in the Order too. Yeah, I've heard that. The Order is a good show. Yeah, I heard that got canceled. But yeah, as you see on screen, here's the wiki on my OneNote, my personal wiki. So yeah, we can go to Scott's pack. I guess I can introduce you to all the characters. Also, I changed Scott's last name, so it's not Delgado with a T. I changed it back to Delgado because I didn't want anyone basically being like, "Why is it spelled wrong?" So I just changed it back to Delgado, which is fine, I guess. But yeah, the Hellhound has to be strong. They made them look weak to me. Yeah, Hellhounds, they're a problem. In True Alpha, they're a problem. They're no joke too. They're so you know how everybody wanted Parrish to have a Hellhound form like the Beast in season 5? Well, he's gonna have one in True Alpha. So when book number 5 comes out, be prepared. There's gonna be some crazy shit going down in that book, bro. Since being a Kanima is a genetic thing, is there a chance any were creature can give birth to a Kanima? Yeah, possibly. Like let's say if a Kanima were to mate with like a werewolf or like a were-coyote, then the child either has a chance of being born as only a Kanima, kind of like how Malia was born only as a were-coyote and not a hybrid of the two, or they could be born as a hybrid, like a were-coyote Kanima hybrid, which is absolutely crazy just even thinking about that. So yeah, that's kind of how that works. So yeah, this is Scott, obviously. I have here listed the face models for each of the characters. So when I say face models, it's pretty much like how the characters look in the book when like, because there's no art, it's just words. So I have to describe how the characters look. So the way I describe each of the characters, basically their face models match the exact descriptions of how the characters look. So how I describe Scott's look in book 1 is exactly how Tyler Posey looks in real life. So that's why Tyler Posey, Dylan O'Brien, and all the other actors I picked are like the face models for each of the characters, because that's exactly how they look in the book. So honestly, right now, True Alpha is sounding really chef's kiss. Yeah, I put a lot of thought into it. I mean, damn, I've been working on this since I was 13, and I'm 19, about to be 20 in a few months. So, yeah, this was a long time in the making. Is True Alpha going to be sort of a light novel? No, it's going to be like a regular novel. Just the way I'm going about it is kind of not normal, or if you want to use a big boy word, unorthodox. So, yeah, it's a normal novel. But yeah, to answer the question for that one guy who asked, what is Scott, like what is he like in True Alpha? I guess I'll go over that here because I have a description for him, and I have all his other details too. Like I have like date of birth, ethnicity, height, hair, eye color. Like it's very detailed on the wiki for me. So we're gonna get into Scott Delgado's kind of like overall overview for his character. So I'm going to read it word by word. Scott Gonzalo Delgado is the primary main protagonist of the novel series True Alpha. He is a high school student currently attending Primal Hills High in Northern California who gained wolf-like abilities, and he is the current primary protector of Primal Hills and is currently a beta werewolf. After heading into the woods to search for the recently deceased Laura Knight, who was bisected in two, he was then bitten by an enhanced alpha werewolf Peter Knight. Following that night, he had trouble adjusting to his new life as a werewolf, but received help from his friends. About a month or so after he became a werewolf, he engaged with his current girlfriend, Allison King, and others in a vicious and brutal final conflict with Peter Knight, which led to, I guess this is a light spoiler, but not really a spoiler, but if you know how the ending of Teen Wolf season 1 went, it's kind of similar for the ending of True Alpha, so it shouldn't really be a spoiler for you guys. The deaths of both Peter and Allison's aunt, Catherine King, while also witnessing the... Okay, this is a spoiler. I'm not going to get into that. That's a spoiler for sure. So we're just going to skip that because that's definitely a spoiler for the end of the first book. Following the situation dealing with the Alpha, Scott had another issue on his hands dealing with a new creature called the Kanima. So that's Volume 2 stuff. So, yeah. Does the government, assuming this takes place in the USA, know about were-creatures and supernatural? I find it kind of dumb how the government didn't know about werewolves and Teen Wolf. that is for end of the series stuff. So there's a huge, very spoiler event that takes place. What? I'm not going to say it's a spoiler because it's pretty much the general plot for book number 11, which is the second to last book. So basically, there's an apocalypse that happens where demons rise all over the country. Angels get involved. This is like far in the timeline of the series. And that event exposes supernaturals all over the country and all over the world through the news. So yeah, it's a pretty big event. It's a pretty universe-changing event too. And yeah, that's a pretty big storyline for later on. Are you gonna make character overview videos on your channel? Yes, I will. I will do that. I don't know if I'm gonna do it in the next few weeks. I might save that for September, or I might start doing it now, kind of to build promotion for the book. So yeah, thank you for bringing that up. He said yes in the future earlier in the Q&A. Okay. I feel like Styles should have been a druid. It sucks that he's not supernatural. It's funny you say that. It's funny you say that. I clicked out as soon as my question was answered. Damn, bro. Glad to see you back on the stream. How will demons be portrayed in the series? Will you add your own lore, or will you use just the typical fire and brimstone devils? No, demons in my series kind of work. If you've ever seen the CW show Supernatural, that's how demons are gonna work. Kind of like that. So kind of like Azazel, Lilith, Abaddon, the Knights of Hell. Those are the type of demons you're gonna kind of see in True Alpha. Is there a secret society that studies and monitors the supernatural world while hiding it from the mundane world? I guess you can consider hunters to be like that, but not really. No, not really. So yeah. So here's all the information on Scott. So you have Scott right here, full name, Scott Gonzalo Delgado, alias the Beta. He's currently 15 years old. He was a human formerly. He's now a werewolf. He's American. He's male, obviously. Also, what I thought was cool, I made most of the characters share the same birthdays with their real life face models. So Scott Delgado's birthday is the exact same day as Tyler Posey's birthday, which I thought was pretty cool too. So yeah, he was born on October 18th, 1995. He is Hispanic. So yeah, for all the people who are like, I'm tired of seeing like Caucasian main protagonists, the main character of True Alpha is Hispanic. Scott Delgado. I guess you guys could tell by the last name, but yeah, Scott Delgado is Hispanic. He was turned by Peter on August 28th, 2011. He was part of Peter's pack. He's 5'10". His mother's name is Eliza. His father's name is Jorge. And his girlfriend is Allison, which is the next character we're going to get to. And that is Crystal Reed, of course, who I do not have a bio for yet. Got to work on that. But yes, Crystal Reed is the face model for Allison. If you watched the last update videos, you guys know that. All right. Can you go back and answer my question about the Hellhound? I think I already did. Fanboy 2021, I think I already answered your question about the Hellhound. What will Werewolf Society be like? That's a very interesting question. I don't want to ruin all the stuff. I'll kind of just say that for the books, for you to figure out all that good stuff. But yeah, if a were-jaguar and a werewolf had kids, what would the child be like? Would it be a hybrid or just one species? I mean, it depends. They could either come out as a hybrid or as one species. It really just depends on what the child ends up being, to be honest. Like, do they have some kind of big group that takes in and trains werewolves? No, they do not. They do not do that. to answer your question. But yeah, this is Allison. Obviously, this is Crystal Reed when she's older. I'm using a younger version of Crystal Reed for the face model for Allison because, yeah, it'd be kind of weird if she looked like this. So yeah, Allison's full name is Allison Valise King. She's 16. She's human, American, female. She was born September 19th, 1995. Her ethnicity, she's Caucasian. Oh yeah, hunters have clans, so that's new. If anybody had like questions about like how the hunters would work, they kind of have like different clans. So hopefully that answers like anybody who had questions about like, oh, how do hunters work and stuff like that. She's alive. She's 5'8". Her father is Cyrus King. Her mother is Madison King. Her grandfather is Gerard. How was I about to say Gerard, bro? Gerald King. Catherine King is her aunt. Christina King is her grandmother. She's LJ's cousin. So Lamont Valet Jr. is Allison's cousin. A bunch of people were like, how the hell does that even work? I'll get into that too. And then LJ's mom is obviously her cousin. We'll move on to the next character, which is Dylan O'Brien, who is Dirk Schroeder. And there is a little thing I made for him. So we're going to go into Dirk real quick. So, yeah, this is Dylan O'Brien's character from True Alpha. So Dirk Luca. If y'all are NBA fans, you know where I got the middle name from. Dirk Lucas Schroeder is one of the main protagonists in the novel series True Alpha. He is the best friend of Werewolf, Scott Delgado, and Lamont Valet Jr., and is currently the boyfriend of Lydia. And he is a high school student currently attending Primal Hills High School in Northern California. So yeah, that kind of So yeah, Scott or Dylan O'Brien's character is already dating this universe's version of Lydia, which that's kind of mild spoilers. I'll save that for the books too, so y'all will like find out how that plays out. But how does the hunter hierarchy work? Kind of the same as it did in Teen Wolf, but instead of the woman being the leaders, the men are. Well, it really depends. Like men and women are leaders, but it's not like solely the women are the leaders of hunters, right? So, no, the hunters are not like the men of letters from Supernatural. I knew that's what you were gonna mention. Eds, excuse me. So yeah, Dirk. By the way, Teen Wolf does exist in this universe. The MTV version of it does. So they make references to Teen Wolf every now and then. Like it's kind of like breaking the fourth wall. Like Dirk is like, bro, you know, I was watching Teen Wolf one day and I realized that me and you are just like Scott and Styles. It's kind of like stuff like that. So yeah, there's a couple of like breaking the fourth wall, or like a couple of on the nose references. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy those too. Also, getting back to Dirk. So, yeah, his alias is the annoying sidekick. He also calls himself Nightwing, like the DC character, which when you read the book, you'll understand why. He's 16, human, American, male. August 26, 1995 is his birthday, same day as Dylan O'Brien in real life. 5'11", all this other stuff. Oh, also, will Dirk become a supernatural creature later down the line? I will get to that in a second. I knew someone was gonna ask too. Noah Schroeder is his father. That's basically Linden Ashby, who is not the sheriff in here. So Dylan O'Brien's dad is not the sheriff. He's just a normal guy. The sheriff is a completely different character, who I will get to after I get through Scott's pack. Misha Schroeder is Dirk Schroeder's mom, who is dead currently. Claire Schroeder, who we'll get to in a little while, is Dylan O'Brien's twin sister, and who the face model for that is, you guys will find out in a little while as well. and Lydia is his girlfriend. So that is Dirk for you guys, at least for the time being, until I come up with more of a synopsis for him. Then we'll get into currently the most popular character from the first 3 chapters that people read, at least the older version of the first 3 chapters, because they have been changed quite a bit. LJ. So for those of you guys who wanted to know more on LJ, we're gonna get into LJ right now. So let me go back and answer your questions. I love the name Dirk, though. Naming him Miguel would be oh my god. Can you imagine if I named Scott Miguel? That would be crazy. That would be dope. Hey, he could legally change his name to Miguel if he really wanted to. Just saying. I'm assuming because he wants his own identity rather than being the sidekick like Nightwing from the Titans show. Yeah, that's kind of the road he goes down a little bit. Damn, Rex is just completely in my head right now, bro. Are you a mind reader? Are you reading my mind through my words? What's going on, bro? You're like in my head. Just kidding. What is the Beast of Jevadan? Sorry for the bad spelling in this series. Is it similar to the show or just legend? Similar to how it looks like in Teen Wolf, but it is a legend too. It's a mix of both. Will witches play as big of a role like in the Vampire Diaries universe? Not really. They play a pretty minor role. But back to this. So this is LJ. I don't have a synopsis for him yet because his synopsis is kind of spoilery for the end. Oh, shit. There's a spoiler right there. I'm going to delete that for the time being because that's a spoiler for the end of the book, the first book. So hopefully no one saw that. But yeah, his synopsis is kind of spoilery. But yeah, let's get into him. So Lamont Valet Jr., also known as LJ, his real name is Lamont Jacques Valet Jr. He's 16 years old. He's a born werewolf, so he's not human. He was born a werewolf. American male. He was born on July 21st. African American, obviously. Oh, by the way, his face model is Michael B. Jordan. For those of you guys who are wondering. So yeah, he looks like Michael B. Jordan in the books. That's why. Well, I explained it earlier, but yeah, he's 6 feet, so he's taller than Scott, and he's taller than Dirk. He has hazel eyes, hair color is black. Okay, so Georgine Valet is his mother. Lamont Valet Sir is his father. His father's an alpha werewolf, for those of you guys who are wondering. Sebastian Valet, which is the Beast of Jevadan in this universe and in Teen Wolf, but he is. Where can I read the first 3 chapters? They're not up anymore. They were up on my old website, but yeah, you had to read them when they were up. They're not up. So yeah, just got to wait for the chapters to drop on Patreon now. So, sorry, man. Rex said Michael B. Jordan. Yup. Michael B. Jordan will be the face model for Lamont Valet Jr. I had to pick a good-ass black actor, bro. And who else to better portray the character, in my honest opinion, than Michael B. Jordan? So, yeah. Virginia Valet is LJ's grandmother. Allison King is his cousin, as mentioned before. And this is not a spoiler. It's just a story plot thread that you find out in the first chapter. LJ used to date Dirk's twin sister, Claire. So Claire Schroeder is LJ's ex-girlfriend. It's explained earlier on why they broke up. So, yeah. Next is Derek, another big character who people were like, bruh, what's going on with Derek? Is Derek Tyler Hoechlin? No, he's not. If you guys watch Titans on HBO Max and you're familiar with Curran Walters, the guy who plays Red Hood, he is the new Derek. So, yeah, Derek Knight is Curran Walters. It's not Tyler Hoechlin. Tyler Hoechlin will not be back for this series at all. So, yeah, no Tyler Hoechlin in True Alpha at all. So, for those of you guys who wanted Derek to be Tyler Hoechlin, well, told you it's not the same thing as Teen Wolf. For all of you guys who were like, oh, it's similar to Teen Wolf. No, it's not. It's completely different. Will the characters be different from the cast of Teen Wolf? different in terms of character archetypes. Yes, they will be. Each character is very unique, completely different from their cast, completely. I love that guy. Yeah, see, somebody knows who Curran Walters is. But yeah, this is Derek. So yeah, also, as this is not a spoiler either, Derek is a year older than all of the other characters in Scott's pack. So Derek is in high school with Scott and his pack. He's just a grade above them, and he's a year older. So yeah, which I thought was a pretty smart move on my part. So yeah, this is Derek Knight. His full name is Derek Michael Knight. He's 17 years old. He's also a born werewolf, just like LJ. He's a beta, American male, born on September 3rd, 1994. He's part of the Knight family line of werewolves. He's 6'1", so he's 1 inch taller than Lamont Valet Jr. He has green eyes. His hair color is black. His mother is Talia Knight. And his sister, he has two sisters, Laura Knight, Corrine Knight, and unlike Teen Wolf, Derek actually we get to know Derek's father in this too, who is a human. Frank Knight is Derek's father. Peter Knight, obviously main villain of the first story arc, is his uncle. And not a spoiler, already mentioned this character, Malia. This universe version of Malia Knight is his cousin. So yeah, Malia is also in here too. We will get to her in about 3 more characters because she's very, very important to the story. Like the overall True Alpha verse, Malia is pretty important. So yeah, that's Derek for you guys. Next is Lydia, who of course is Holland Roden for the face model. So we're gonna get into her. I'm going to read your questions real quick. So why did I think of Talia al Ghul when you said the name? Tyler Hoechlin. Yeah, I always pronounce it as Hoechlin. People tell me it's Hoechlin. I'm like, man, y'all know who I'm talking about. Come on, bro. But I'll say Hoechlin just because people are like, it's Hoechlin. So I'll practice on saying Hoechlin from now on, so people don't get at me in the comments and be like, it's Hoechlin, not Hoechlin. So yeah. Who would you see playing the mother of Derek's son? I actually have, she's also in Scott's pack. I will get to her in a little while. So yeah, I would have made Derek 18, 19. I mean, I think a 1 year difference isn't that bad either, to be honest. You'll understand why it's a 1 year difference when you read it. Because personality-wise, he's mature, but not mature like Derek was at the start of Teen Wolf. So he's still very much a teenager. I'll leave it at that. Who is the strongest? Do you mean the strongest of the werewolves in the first book? Because that's pretty much a given. I can tell you that off the top of my head. It's Peter. Clearly, he's an enhanced alpha. And I'll get into what all the werewolves are in like a werewolves explained video. I'll make a video explaining each type of werewolf in True Alpha so you guys have a better understanding of what each specific werewolf and what their powers are. But yeah, back to Lydia. So Lydia's full name is Lydia Constance Miller. She's 16, human, American female. She was born October 7th, 1995. So she's about like a week and a half older than Scott. It's Caucasian, alive, 5'3", so she's pretty short. Malia's shorter than her though, but not by that much, only by an inch. Her hair is strawberry blonde. She has hazel eyes. Her mother is Natalie Miller. Her father is George Miller. She's Dirk's boyfriend. Oh my God, Dirk's boyfriend. What the fuck? Dirk is her boyfriend, and Jackson is her ex-boyfriend. Like I said, not going to get into that whole dynamic. That'll be for you guys to discover when you read the books. So speaking of Jackson, next is Jackson. Of course, I couldn't change it. I wanted to, but I'm like, nah, it has to be Colton. So yes, Colton Haynes is the not in the pack. Oh, that's a good question. I will answer that question when we get to every member in the pack. once we get to every member, then I will answer that question because it will surprise you and it'll probably shock you. So, yeah, that's a very good question. I'm glad you asked that. But, yeah, this is Jackson. So, Jackson doesn't have a middle name. So, yeah, Jackson's full name is Jackson Thompson. He's 16. I guess this is not a spoiler because if you're familiar with Teen Wolf, Jackson he doesn't really follow the same storyline. It's a little different, but it's kind of the same. He's currently a Kanima as of the end of book 1. So, yeah, not really a spoiler. He's a beta Kanima. Everybody could have seen that coming. So, if you think it's a spoiler, it's not really one. At least I don't think it's a spoiler. He was born July 13th, 1995. Caucasian. He's 5'9". He's blue eyes. He is adopted like he was in Teen Wolf, so that's kind of similar. Unnamed biological father, dead. Unnamed biological mother, dead. David Thompson's his mom. Mary Thompson's his father. Oh my God, I said David Thompson's his mom. David Thompson's his father. Mary Thompson is his mother, and Lydia Miller is his ex-girlfriend, as mentioned before. So, next character is the character everyone has been waiting to know, and that is Malia. So, for those of you guys, what exactly are Werebears lore-wise? Haven't gotten to Werebears yet. That'll be for future stuff down the line, so can't answer that question now. But for those of you guys who are like, or who haven't seen the video and you're just now watching the stream, learning all this stuff for the first time, Shelley Hennig is in the series, but instead of playing Malia like she did in Teen Wolf, she is Malia's mom and is the husband of, oh my God, I'm all over the place. I'm calling women husbands and men mom. What the hell? She is the wife of Peter. So Peter, and you should cast Abigail Cohen for the role of Lydia Miller or Corrine Knight. I have no clue who that is. I have to look that up after the stream. My head is spinning out of control thinking about Jackson's parents and their Kanima heritage. I have so many ideas right now. Yeah, I'm not getting into that. That's spoiler stuff. I'm definitely not getting into that. Y'all will find that out later down the line. But yeah, so I don't know if it's kind of weird for y'all, but I don't know. I think it makes sense, at least in the book. It's not too weird. So yeah, I know, right? It's kind of weird Malia not being played by Shelley Hennig. You'll find out if you don't know who Malia is being played by in a couple of in like a minute or two. But yeah, so Ian Bohan, who is obviously Peter, like no one else plays that character better than Ian Bohan, in my opinion. Like there is no one else to pick for him. I wanted to change him, but I'm like, nah, I have to do Ian. It has to be him. So yeah, him and Shelley Hennig, they're married, which I don't think is weird because even in real life, their age gap is not that big. I think it's like 8 or 9 years or something. So they're pretty close. They're closer in age than Tyler Posey and Dylan O'Brien and Ian Bohan. So yeah, wait, Malia is not Shelley. Nope, it's not. And you're about to find out who it is right now. So moving on to Malia. Malia's face model is the one and only Emma Roberts, aka my personal favorite female celebrity of all time. So yes, there is a big ass description for Malia because I spent a lot of time developing her. She's probably the most fundamentally different character from any character in the pack. She is a very deep and sad backstory. And like I said, she's probably, I would say Scott's obviously the most important. Then I would say LJ, then Dirk. Malia is the fourth most important character aside from those three. And you'll understand why. You'll understand why when you read book 3. Mad but fine with it, still excited. Yeah, I didn't want Shelley Hennig back because I'm like, I don't want to make it the same as Teen Wolf. I want to differentiate it. So why did you name him Dirk? I pretty much was thinking about a bunch of different stuff. But I got the name Dirk from one of my favorite NBA players, and I thought the name was cool. So I wanted to give one of the characters the name Dirk, and I was like, I don't want Dylan to have Styles because people be like, oh my god, it's a Teen Wolf copy. So I just gave him the name of Dirk, pretty much. So I'm fine with Emma. I take back my statement about Shelley. See, okay, so who's your face claim for Kira? Kira, there is no Kira in True Alpha. Kira's not in here, which will probably upset a few people, but yeah, there's no Kira. The whole Nogatsune storyline is very different. It's very different from how it was in Teen Wolf. So, damn son, you really went into Malia's character. Respect. Yeah. She's one of my favorite characters to write because I love where her story goes. And you guys are gonna feel really bad for her, especially now when I read her backstory. Let's pretty much get into it. So, do you see Phoebe Tompkin as Kali? There is no Kali either. There's no Kali. I don't even like Kira, so I'm cool with that. Yeah, some people are gonna be upset. Some people are gonna be not upset. So yeah, this is Malia, Peter's daughter. Obviously, okay. So let's get into it. Malia Knight is a minor character in the first novel of True Alpha. She is a main character from True Alpha Book 2 onwards. She is the daughter of Peter Knight and Jennifer Reynolds, who is Shelley Hennig's character. She is or Peter's a werewolf. Jennifer's a were-coyote. Peter kept his daughter hidden from everyone outside his main family due to fear of the Court of Alphas, which is basically the Alpha Pack of this universe, coming for her due to her parents being from two different species. So getting into that, the Court of Alphas are very much like Victor from Underworld and Coven, the Vampire Coven from Underworld. They very much, one of their biggest rules is keeping the bloodline pure. They do not mess with hybrids at all, especially natural born hybrids. So, like, if you're a werewolf and let's hope Malia's backstory isn't super cliched. No, it's not. It's not cliched. It's very effed up. So like, let's just say, or I can use Malia as an example. So let's say if Malia was born as a hybrid, the Court of Alphas would come, kill Peter and Jennifer, and then kill Malia afterwards. So yeah, they do not play. You either follow the rules or you die. That's pretty much how they roll. So, okay, any face claim for new characters you have put into your book series besides ones you already covered? Yes, we will get to that soon. I'm getting through all the characters one by one. So continuing on with Malia, I'll just read the sentence over again. Peter kept his daughter hidden from everyone outside his main family due to fear of the Court of Alphas, coming for her due to her parents being from two different species, which would lead to the assumption of her being a hybrid. She was kept under close watch by Talia Hale until her timely death in the Night House fire in 2006. Not a spoiler. After her father was badly burned in the fire in 2006, he would keep her, or he would be kept in Primal Hills until summer 2011 when his wounds fully healed after killing his niece, Laura Hill, adding her spark to his alpha spark, making him exponentially more powerful as an enhanced alpha werewolf. A year prior to the house, summer of 2006, when Malia was around 9 years old or so. I might be off on the age by a year or two. Yeah, I think I am. Malia would have been... She would have been 9 or 10. I can fix that later, but yeah. She was sexually abused by her father, who had a previous track record of messing with children due to his overall dominance and status and power. So yeah, remember when I told you guys you're really going to hate Peter? Peter is a bit of an asshat. So yeah, and he's very effed up. Taking advantage of the weak and the helpless. This event would go on to mentally scar Malia for many years following that event until she met her current boyfriend, LJ Lamont Valet Jr. in September 2011 on one of the full moons. Malia accidentally transformed into her stage 2 form and slaughtered an innocent girl while out of control. Because of this, she discovered that she isn't a werewolf, but instead inherited her mother's supernatural genes as a were-coyote. Not wanting her daughter to see her father in the state he was, Jennifer tried everything to keep her daughter from traveling to Primal Hills, but by October 7th, 2011, after Malia had successfully made her way to Primal Hills on her own after leaving her home in Phoenix, Arizona, she traveled to Primal Hills to seek out her father in order for him to help her control her new powers and abilities, since her mother refused to do so. So yeah, that's essentially Malia's backstory. So okay, I have mixed feelings about Dirk. Hopefully it's a nickname. No, it's his actual name. You'll understand why. Their whole family's kind of like sort of like German, because his father's American and his mother's German, so that's why he has the name Dirk. Dirk is a German name, so, and you could obviously tell by the last name too. The last name is German, so bro, my head was literally right there. I was just about to ask if they wanted to recruit execute her. I don't know what you're trying to talk. I don't know what you're trying to say. Sorry, man. Okay, so Peter is my least favorite. That's what I was telling you. I told y'all were going to hate Peter. Told y'all were going to hate Peter. Gross motherfucker. You're gonna hate Kate too. Kate is a bit of, she's slightly worse than Peter, slightly less worse than Peter, but she's still bad too. Peter sounded like the Madara of this universe, just a straight menace. What the fuck? Yeah, Peter's a menace, bro. The dude he got some issues. So yeah, Malia's full name is Malia Janessa Knight. She's Peter's daughter. She's 16. She's a beta were-coyote. She was born on June 6, 1995. She's 5'2". She has green eyes. She has blonde hair naturally. Her mother is Jennifer Reynolds. Her father is Peter. LJ is her boyfriend. Derek is her cousin. Laura is her cousin. Talia is her aunt. And Corrine is also her cousin as well. So, yeah. Next is Isaac, who is, of course, Daniel Sharman. Wasn't changing that either. Don't have a description for him, so we'll go over him real quick. So Isaac's full name is Isaac Camden Parrish. He's 16. He's a werewolf. He's a beta. He was born on June 26, 1995. He's part of LJ's pack, which I guess is a spoiler for Volume 2. Not really, kind of. Depends on what you define as spoiler, but yeah, he's 6'2", so he's really tall. I think Daniel Sharman is 6'2", so that's why I made him 6'2". So yeah, his brown eyes. His father is Martin Parrish and his mother is Samantha Parrish. He has no siblings, so that is Isaac. Next character is Claire. So Dylan O'Brien's twin sister. I see what you did with Isaac Camden Parrish. I was waiting for somebody to pick it up. I was waiting for somebody to pick that up. Is it weird that I already like Dirk? Yeah, he's pretty funny. He has a lot of the same type of humor as, like, not really Styles, but like Dylan O'Brien in real life. Like, if you know what type of humor Dylan has, then that's kind of like the humor that Dirk has in the book. So it's not like Styles just type humor where like he has the sarcasm. It's more like Dylan O'Brien's actual like real life humor. So yeah, I realized that too. That's clever. Yeah, I figured fans of Teen Wolf would pick up on that. So yes, this is Dylan O'Brien's twin sister. The face model is Alexandra Daddario. If you guys have seen the Percy Jackson movies, you know who this is. Or if you watched, like, what's another show that she's known for? She's known for this movie called San Andreas, if you guys are familiar with that. But this is basically Dylan O'Brien's twin sister. The age is going to be different because she doesn't appear, like, physically until the third book. It's explained why she doesn't appear until the third book in Volume 1. So, yeah. No description for her yet. but her full name is Claire Misha Schroeder. She's 17 by the time book 3 starts. We'll get into what she is later. Not going to go over that now. But yeah, she's born on August 26th. Obviously, she's Dirk's twin sister, so she has the same birthday as him. She's alive. She's 5'8". She has blue eyes, black hair. I'm not going to go over the family relationships because that would be kind of redundant. You already know who the mother and the father and the brother is. And then you already know that she used to be LJ's girlfriend before dating Malia. So, yeah. Next character is a brand new original. Well, Claire's original too, but another original character. Actually, all these characters are kind of original if you really think about it. But next character, her name is Ezekiel Melchior. We can get into what species she is because that's not a spoiler. But if you guys have seen the Suicide Squad and you're familiar with the character Ratcatcher, you know who you can see in the background, Suicide Squad. Mommy Daddario Sheesh. Yo. Yep, that's Dylan O'Brien's twin sister. I like the concept of a character trying to come into his own and escape from someone's shadow. I just love the concept of Dirk becoming a badass. Oh my Jesus, I think I know what you're trying to set up with Dirk and his sister. Ratcatcher 2. Yeah, that's who she played in the Suicide Squad. I'm pretty sure this character Ezekiel is a weremonkey. No, she's not. You're gonna be pretty excited when I tell you what species she is. Okay, so her full name is Ezekiel Daniela Melchior. She's 17 by the time book 3 starts. She is a siren. So for those of you guys who are wondering, are sirens in the book? Yes, she's the first one we know about. So yeah, she's a siren. Kind of if you've seen the Vampire Diaries, you know what sirens are. So yeah, she's a siren. Let's see. She was born on November 1st, 1995. She's Portuguese. So yeah, she's not Caucasian. She's Portuguese. 5'6". She has lime green eyes. She has dark brown hair. We don't know her parents' names because it's not really important. She actually had a fling with LJ, and that's a backstory that's very spoilery because it goes into LJ's childhood, which is also another huge spoiler for not only the third book, but is another huge spoiler for book number 11 as well. So yeah, not gonna go over her relation to LJ's character because that's a huge freaking spoiler for his character and his character development for damn sure. So yeah, not going over that. And the final member of Scott's pack is a character named Benjamin, whose face model is Freddie Highmore. If you guys have seen Bates Motel, you know who this is. He's the guy who plays Norman Bates. So can you elaborate on the lore for sirens, Dick? It's pretty much what lore can I relate it to? Think of like Greek mythology or like Nordic mythology, sort of like one of those two. That's the closest lore I can get to with sirens. They're kind of like how they are in mythology. So yeah, I have to do more development on them. But and as a special thing, Benjamin is the only character in Scott's pack who is human. So yeah, which now I'll get into what species of supernatural Dirk, who is Dylan O'Brien, and Claire, who is Alexander Daddario, what they are. So Dirk and Claire are kitsunes. So Dylan O'Brien's character is an air kitsune, which basically means he can control wind, kind of like Fujin from Mortal Kombat. If you guys know who that character is. And Claire is a fire kitsune, so she can control fire, kind of like a firebender from like Avatar: The Last Airbender, or like Pyro from X-Men, sort of. So yeah. For those of you guys who want to know what supernatural creatures Dirk and his sister are, they are kitsunes. So yeah. Now you know. But yeah, let's get into Benjamin before we move on to the others. So Benjamin, his full name is Benjamin Kirby Morrison. Also, if you guys, I'll get into who I based his character off of too, because you guys are going to be very surprised too. I'm assuming Dirk will probably be in his sister's shadow. Not really. When he finds out he's a kitsune, he's actually pretty shocked. He's actually pretty mad at his dad because his dad knew because his mom was a kitsune, and that's kind of a backstory that's for the no kitsune storyline. I'm not gonna get into too much of that because it's very spoilery on how his mom died and stuff like that. So yeah, Benjamin Kirby Morrison. He's 17 by the time we meet him. He's a human, as mentioned before, and Phantom, why'd you get to it, bro? Dang, bro, can y'all let me get to it? Damn. Where is Liam? We're gonna get to Liam soon. Liam will be right after this. Right after I'm done with Ben, we'll get to Liam. Damn, y'all already knew the reference. What the hell? All right. But yes, Ben is based on Ben 10. So, yeah. There are certain artifacts in this universe that can give humans certain abilities. So, there's one called the Watch, which is obviously inspired by the Omnitrix from Ben 10, which is the watch Ben uses to transform into different aliens. So instead of the Omnitrix, it's literally just called the Watch. It was made by demons in hell. So it's like a demonic device that he uses. So essentially how the Watch works is that this universe's version of Deaton gives it to him as like a gift, or sort of like, kind of like, yeah, I would say a gift. And how it works is that as long as he has the DNA of a specific supernatural species, he can transform into that supernatural species, kind of the same way Ben uses his watch in Ben 10 for about 10 minutes. Because let's be honest, if he had the master control from the beginning, he would be unquestionably the most broken character in all True Alpha. But yeah, as long as he has the DNA of a specific supernatural species, for example, if he scans a Kanima, he can use all the Kanima's powers and abilities whenever he wants, as long as he can transform into that creature for about a minimum of 10 minutes at least. So, yeah. This can also go into answering one of your guys' questions. I forgot who asked it, but yeah. Yeah, Ben's a fun character. He's a fun character. He was a fun character to come up with. He's definitely one of my favorites alongside LJ. So yeah, Ben was definitely a fun character to come up with. So, yeah. So Ben is easily the most powerful, or has the potential to be the most powerful character in Scott's pack. More powerful than LJ, more powerful than Scott. Can he turn into a hellhound? Yes, he can. Any supernatural creature, including angels and demons, by the way. He can't scan archangels because it's too powerful. Is the watch destroyable? No, it's not. It's not destroyable. It's not destroyable, and it's permanently bonded to its owner for life. So once you put the watch on, you can't remove it. But yeah, he's pretty dope. He's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. This man is gonna be broken. Yeah. Once nah, that's OP as fuck, bro. He needs to be killed off. Nah, it's not really overpowered because of the time limit. Like, there's moments where he thinks he can use that power longer than he actually can, and he'll like be like, all right, so I'm using my Kanima power, and it'll run out in the worst possible situation, and he'll have to wait for it to recharge. So Yeah. He's not as OP as you guys think he is. Trust me, I definitely nerfed him a lot. He's not as OP as you guys think he is. Oh, I'm guessing his character is inspired from Ben 10. Yes, he is. Should have done Ryan Kelly instead of Freddie Highmore because Ryan played Ben 10 in the live action. I didn't want to do Ryan Kelly because Ryan Kelly is still playing well, his name is not Parrish in this version, but he's still like the Jordan Parrish type character. So yeah. Had to get someone else. Can you elaborate on the Watch's lore? Not now, because that's a spoiler for book 3. Will he have nicknames for his transformations like Ben 10? Yeah, he will. It'll kind of be like a recurring, like, running joke. It's played up for laughs, kind of, because the rest of the pack think it's pretty stupid. They're like, why are you coming up with nicknames for these supernatural characters that already have nicknames? Like, it's kind of dumb. And he's kind of like, well, I want to be a little bit extra and stuff like that. He's pretty cool. So, yeah, that's Scott's pack. Now moving on to Liam. By the way, for all the people who are like, does Liam become an alpha? Yes, he does. And the way Liam becomes an alpha is really freaking awesome. I hope the characters are grounded. Yeah, they are. The characters are extremely grounded. I would say, in my opinion, they're more grounded than they are in Teen Wolf, to be honest. So, yeah, hopefully that excites a lot of people. Yeah. Liam does become an alpha. The way he becomes an alpha is extremely cool. It makes complete sense. And Liam is very, very different in True Alpha than Liam and Teen Wolf. Please tell me there is no type of Monroe character. She was so trash. There is and there is not. But when I say there is and there is not, she's not written like Monroe. Like, she's not a Mary Sue, but she's like an African American female huntress. She's not relevant until the final book of the series, so we're not gonna touch on her. I mean, I guess we can because she'll be in the villain section clearly, but yeah, yeah, the way Liam becomes an alpha is very, very cool. So I don't have anything for Liam yet because I didn't come up with anything for him, but yeah, Liam is still Dylan Sprayberry. His name is not Liam Dunbar. You can clearly see with the next character where I got the inspiration from. His name is Liam Henry in True Alpha. Mason is still in True Alpha. Mason Dunbar. Haha, you see what I did there? Yeah. Is Scott strong in this series? Yes, he is. Scott is extremely powerful in this show or in the book. Scott's really freaking strong, and you'll start to see that at the end of the first book. Scott is it all ties into the title of the book. It all ties into that. The title of the book is completely revolved around Scott and what his journey entails. Does True Alpha status actually do something in True Alpha? I'm assuming Delgado will have that role. Yes, it's not just a passive way to become an alpha. It actually has a purpose in True Alpha. Like, it's one of the most powerful and one of the best forms a werewolf can have in the verse. Like, it's pretty potent in terms of its power. True Alpha. By the way, after I go over the rest of this stuff, it's probably going to be the end of the stream because it's almost been about 2 hours. So, yeah, I want to have time to at least, record the videos for this week. So, yeah. Mason, that's Mason. This character, Brandon Takahashi, is the first wereshark we ever see in True Alpha. So, yeah, Liam's pack is pretty diverse. So, yeah, there is Liam has a Wereshark as part of his pack, which is pretty cool. Are the Dread Doctors still a thing? No, the Dread Doctors were pretty boring in my. Somebody asked about where Jaguars and how they or where Sharks and how they look like. I guess I can pull it up for you real quick. After this, if they're a Klaus type character in this, yes, Joseph Morgan's actually in the book. So yeah, there is a Klaus type character. Joseph Morgan is actually in the series. I will get to who he's playing when we get to the villains. So yeah, first Wereshark is Brandon Takahashi. Then the next three characters are all brothers. So first we have Virgil Winchester. If you guys are familiar with the video game series Devil May Cry, you know where I got Virgil from. So yeah. Virgil Winchester is the oldest of three brothers, and all three of these brothers are half human, half demon. So yeah, Liam has demons as part of his pack too. So yeah, Liam's pack is pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. So Virgil Winchester is the old. Dante is the oldest. Virgil is the second oldest. So Dante Winchester, or I'll go over the actors too. So Boo Boo Stewart is Brandon Takahashi. Forgot to mention that. Kylan Rambo's Mason, Dylan Sprayberry, Liam. Cody Fern is Virgil from American Horror Story. Jensen Ackles is Dante Winchester. He's the oldest of the three half demon, half human hybrid siblings. They're all hunters too. So yeah. And then the youngest of the siblings is Seth Winchester, who was played by the face model who did the face model capture for the character of V from Devil May Cry 5. And then the last character, Vanessa Morgan's character, is the only human in Liam's pack. She is a vampire hunter, so she won't come until vampires are introduced in book number 6. So yeah. How does one become an alpha Kanima? It's pretty much the same way they become an alpha Kanima in Teen Wolf. It's through like, what's the freaking process called? I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, it's pretty much the same way you become an alpha Kanima in Teen Wolf. My mind went straight to Supernatural. Will you have witches in the next book? No. And do you have any character face claim? I'm going over that right now, so I know demons are gonna look scary. Yeah, man. So that's Liam's entire pack. I would get the LJ's pack, but I'm gonna save that for another stream because that's spoiler territory. Let's get to the supporting characters. So yeah, Eliza. Let me change the name. Eliza Delgado is obviously Scott's mom. How does your art style look like? I'll show you a few examples at the end of the stream so you can get a feel. Or you can just look at the cover of volume 1. That's kind of what it looks like. Will there be any Buffy-like characters? I guess Sarah Brooks is or Vanessa Morgan's character is the closest you can get to a Buffy type character. So yeah, Eliza Delgado, Scott's mom, Melissa Ponzio, obviously. Noah Schroeder, Linden Ashby is Claire and Dirk's dad. And then Georgine Valet, Angela Bassett from American Horror Story. She is LJ's mom. Cyrus King, J.R. Bourne is Allison's father. Madison King, Olivia Wilde is Allison's mom. Albert Cassidy, who is pretty much he's basically this universe's version of Deaton. is Wesley Snipes, who everybody knows from Blade, the first like mainstream Marvel. What is Mason? Mason's just a normal human. I forgot to mention Mason's a human too. She's hunting herself. Yeah, so Wesley Snipes will play this universe's version of Deaton. Connor Leahy, who is kind of like, well, Danny does exist in this verse, so yeah, I'm not gonna say that. He's basically like LJ's comic relief, sort of like, how can I put him? He's kind of like LJ's sort of friend from his track team, who is comic relief. That's the best way I can describe him. Who is played by Steve from Stranger Things. So Joe Keery is a part of True Alpha. He is actually in chapter 1 of the book, so you'll get to meet Connor in chapter 1. So yeah, he's really good friends with Michael B. Jordan's character. They're like buddy. They're both the best track runners on their team. They're two of the best athletes in all of the school, alongside Jackson and soon to be Scott and Dirk later on. So yeah, that's Connor. The new coach, who is not Orny Adams, Austin Flintlock, his face model is Tom Cruise. So yeah, you got Tom Cruise in here, boy. You got some big names. Did any of the werewolf lore change? Not really, no. Most of it's still the same. So yeah, Tom Cruise will be playing the new coach. And the main sport, for those of you guys who are thinking, is it lacrosse? It's not lacrosse anymore. The main sport is soccer. So yeah, soccer, basketball, and track are the main 3 sports in True Alpha. There's no lacrosse. So yeah, that's very different too. And the sheriff, who is not Noah Schroeder, Dirk's dad, is David Harbour from Stranger Things and Hellboy. He will be the new sheriff of Primal Hills. So yeah, that's pretty much the supporting cast. I guess we can get into the Court of Alphas and then the villains, and that'll be the end of the stream, because that's really all I have on the wiki so far. That's like developed. So yeah, next is the Court of Alphas. For those of you guys who were in the stream earlier, basically the Court of Alphas is the alpha pack of this universe. So yeah, there are 7 members, and they're bigger than the alpha pack too. So yeah, any angel-like character. And what about Theo? Theo does exist. We'll get to him when we get to the villains. Theo does exist. Are you going to make a fandom for True Alpha? Yes, but I might have somebody else create the fandom, because I'm not really experienced with that kind of stuff. So if you're experienced with making a wiki page, like on fandom, let me know, and you'll be in charge of creating the True Alpha fandom page, because I do want one just for people to go to. Like the one that you're seeing right now is my own personal one, but I want one for everyone to go to, kind of like how there's Teen Wolf Wiki. So I want True Alpha Wiki. So yeah, let's get into this universe's inspired version of the Alpha Pack, the Court of Alphas. Of course, you had to bring your boy back. Deucalion is the leader, who is played by the same actor, Gideon Emery. Of course, had to bring back Deucalion. Deucalion's very different. He's a completely different character than his Teen Wolf counterpart. So Deucalion in this universe, the closest I can compare him to is Victor from Underworld. If you guys have seen the Underworld series and you know the character Victor, that's exactly the character that Deucalion is. Very by the books, very stuck up, very much for the rules and preserving the werewolf species. So yeah, Victor from Underworld is the closest I can compare Deucalion to in True Alpha. So yeah. So that's Deucalion. Also, Deucalion does have a sibling. I hope he doesn't die by a couple of gunshots in True Alpha. No, it's a very brutal fight. So Deucalion I'm not gonna say the way he dies, but the way he goes out, he has a very brutal, very violent, very gory fight with Scott. That fight with Deucalion, which is just one-on-one, Deucalion and Scott, is the moment Scott becomes a true alpha. That fight is one of the most important fights in the entirety of the series. It's the moment where Scott completely shifts into alpha status. So, yeah. Y'all are going to very much enjoy that fight, too. It's a very brutal fight between Deucalion and Scott. So, next member is actually his younger brother, who is Prometheus, who is played by the one and only Spider-Man himself, Tobey Maguire. So, yes, Tobey Maguire will be part of the Court of Alphas, too. I was like, we got to get Tobey out there in some more movie and TV show appearances. Tobey hasn't really been in anything lately. I think it would be really cool to have Tobey a part of this. So, yeah, Bully Maguire. Yes, sir. You're going to see full-on Bully Maguire mode, Tobey Maguire in True Alpha. He's definitely Bully Maguire. So, yeah. Tobey Maguire is the younger brother of Deucalion. His name is Prometheus. So, yeah, Prometheus is Tobey Maguire. Then you have Camazotz, who is Marcel from the originals. So he is the third member of the Court of Alphas. He actually comes from Africa. So, yeah. There's an individual backstory for each of the members of the Court of Alphas, which is very interesting. So, are the Court of Alphas all werewolves or alphas from a different species? They're all werewolves. They're all the same type of werewolf as Peter is. They're all enhanced alpha werewolves. So, yeah. The best Spider-Man is, I knew everybody was gonna be hyped once I announced Tobey Maguire was gonna be a part of the books. So, yeah. Yep, Tobey's here. But all the Court of Alphas, they're all werewolves. So, yeah, Marcel is Camazotz. Next is Iko Wise, who you guys might know from The Raid, Redemption, and a bunch of other martial arts flicks on Netflix. He's playing a character named Valstrax. He's also another alpha werewolf. So, yeah, Iko Wise is the fourth member. Next is Thanatos, who is played by Alan Ritchson, who you guys might know as Hawk from Titans. Camazotz, doesn't that mean death in Aztec? Yes, it does. The Aztec god of death. Yes, that's exactly what Camazotz means. Thanatos is played by Alan Ritchson, who plays Jade. I think you owe yourself a drink after this. Yeah, I do. I've been talking for a minute, but I'm excited, man. I can't wait for all of you guys to experience this universe. Like, I can talk about this for hours on end. That's how vast and developed and deep this universe runs. So, Thanatos means death too, right? Or is that a different god? Yeah, Thanatos is the Greek god of death. So, yeah. Also, this character, Thanatos, Alan Ritchson, has a pretty badass fight with LJ in Volume 3, in Book Number 3, Part 1. So, yeah, look forward to that fight. That's another top-tier, god-tier, goated fight. For when the show becomes animated, I want top-notch quality animation for that fight. Because that fight, the way I have it pictured in my head, is absolutely crazy. It's a really good fight. So, yeah, the Court of Alphas, they get down, bro. There's gonna be some fights with these werewolves. It's not gonna be that Teen Wolf shit where they do slow-mo fighting and their arms move too slow. Nah, it's pretty quick. So I won't be able to read it, but I look forward to another Q&A stream. Damn, that's unfortunate, bro. Hopefully you'll be able to afford it later on and catch up and read it, man, because it's gonna be worth all the 10. It's gonna be worth the $10 subscription, man. I love what I came up with. It's a fantastic universe so far. The last two members are female. The next member is Dynasty, who is Celine from Underworld. So we got some Underworld actresses, and there's more actors from Underworld who are in this universe too. But Celine from Underworld is playing a character named Dynasty. She is the first female member of the Court of Alphas. So yeah, she's kind of like the Kali of the pack. So yeah, I was very, very pleased with my final decision of picking Kate Beckinsale, because I was like, bro, I need Kate Beckinsale in here somewhere, bro. Who can she play? I'm glad I added her to the Court of Alphas. So yeah, and then the last character, we brought back Kali from Teen Wolf. She will play another female member of the Court of Alphas named Freya. So yeah, that's the Court of Alphas for you guys. They are the main villains of Book 3, Part 1. So yeah, I see people in the chat, Queen Celine. Yup, I knew people were going to be like, damn, you got Celine from Underworld in here too? Yeah, the Court of Alphas is pretty stacked in terms of casting. So you have Deucalion, Tobey Maguire, Marcel from the originals, the guy from the Raid Redemption, Hawk from Titans, and Jack Reacher. You have Celine from Underworld, and then you have Kali from Teen Wolf. So yeah, it's pretty stacked in terms of the cast. And the final part of the video before we end it off is the villains. So here is all the villains that you will see in all of the books. So I have all the villains here from the first book all the way until the final book. So once we get done with this, Celine is already brutal as F, just as a vampire. As a werewolf, that's going to be insanely bloody. LOL, how Morbius should have been. Yeah, facts. Yeah, but yeah, she's pretty brutal in True Alpha too. I'm not going to lie. Her backstory is very, very interesting. So yeah, let's get into the villains. So of course, first, you have Peter Knight, who, like I mentioned earlier, has to be Ian Bohan. There was no one else to pick for this. It had to be him. And y'all already heard the backstory between Peter and his daughter, so a lot of you guys are going to hate Peter right from the jump because he's a bit of I'm not going to say the word for monetization reasons, but yeah, y'all know what type of time Peter is on. But yeah, bro, at this point, you better get this animated someday. If it gets animated, it has to be Peace Wano arc level of animation quality. Hell yeah, bro, for sure. You know the vibes. I expect nothing less for this fantastic universe. So yeah, Peter's Ian Bohan, Catherine, so the best way I can describe Catherine, who is, Jill Wagner, Kate from Teen Wolf, best way I can describe, what happened with Peter? He sexually abused his daughter. So yeah, he's a bit of a POS. And not just his daughter, he has a track record of doing it with other children too. So yeah, he's a bit of a POS. Thank you for using O instead of A. But yeah, essentially that's what happened. Well, it's not 17 years, but it's all the time before the house fire. So yeah, but the best way I can describe Catherine is basically like how Catherine's personality is in the Vampire Diaries. So yeah, very unlikable too. Very annoying as well. So these are the main two villains for the first book. Then it's Gerald King, who is pretty much this universe's version of Gerard. Played by the guy who played Commissioner Gordon in The Dark Knight and the Christopher Nolan and the Christian Bale Batman movies. So I thought that was a pretty interesting choice to choose. So yeah, he's pretty much the Gerard of this universe. Just as bad as Gerard was in Teen Wolf. So yeah, nothing really much more to say. He's still an asshat. Then I decided to redo Matt, but make him kind of different. Is that Johnny Depp? No, that's Gary Oldman. That's not Johnny Depp. Kate, kill her in the worst way possible. Peter, that's messed up. Yeah, Peter's a pretty effed up individual. But yeah, we decided to redo Matt. Matt's different. He's not the same, but he's played by the same actor, clearly on screen. Can't remember the actor's name right now on screen, but that's Matt. Then we're getting into Volume 3 stuff, which y'all know the Court of Alphas are the main villain of Book 3, Part 1. Book 3, Part 2, this is where we get into the Nogatsune stuff. Tom freaking Hiddleston is the main villain of Book 3, Part 2. He will play the uncle of Dylan O'Brien's character and Alexander Daddario's character, and he is the brother of Dirk and Claire's mom. So his name is Henrik Schroeder. He's German. He's also of Japanese descent too, but that's also explained when you get to that part of the story. I hate Kate Argent more than people who pour milk before their cereal. That's funny. But yeah, he is a Nogatsune. Does Dirk get possessed by the Nogatsune? No, he does not. Henrik himself is a Nogatsune. So, damn, do I want to... I'll go into a little bit of Henrik because most of his backstory is kind of spoilery. I'll go into him a little bit. But essentially, Henrik was born with a Nogatsune. And, actually, you know what? I'll go over his backstory. I might as well. So Henrik and Misha are obviously siblings, right? So Misha is Dirk. So Misha is Dirk and Claire's mom. Henrik is their uncle. So Henrik and Misha are brother and sister. They were both born from Kitsune parents. Misha became a celestial Kitsune, kind of like Noshiko and Teen Wolf, and then Henrik was born with a Nogatsune. So Henrik was heavily influenced by his Nogatsune as a child. So from a child, he was very much born evil, essentially, because the Nogatsune would kind of manipulate him and kind of like coerce him into doing certain things. And eventually, once Henrik got older, he would understand what the Nogatsune's, like what type of time the Nogatsune was on. And actually, let me share my face. Can I? Whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, there we go. So yeah, essentially, right? Like Henrik started to understand more of the Nogatsune's mindset the older he got. So they eventually teamed up and started doing stuff together. And this directly leads into how, I wouldn't really say he was born evil. Like, he was born normal. He just got influenced by his Nogatsune over time. That's probably the best way to put it. I wouldn't really say he was born evil, because no one's really born evil, right? So, yeah, this directly leads into how Dirk and Claire's mom died, which, if you want to know, fine. I guess it's a spoiler, but it's a spoiler I'm willing to give away. Probably one of the only few ones I'm willing to give away. So, yeah. So the way Dirk's mom dies is very messed up. Celestial Nogatsune. No. He's just a regular Nogatsune. Like, think of the Nogatsune from Teen Wolf. That's what Henrik is. Misha is a celestial Kitsune, kind of like Noshiko. So differentiate the two. But how Misha died was that the Nogatsune came up with an idea one day, when they're adults, and thought it would be funny to give Henrik's sister cancer. Because the Nogatsune, it's a trickster spirit, right? So it can't really tell the difference between right and wrong. So Henrik thought it would be a good idea too, because of all the influence from the Nogatsune over the years. So he's pretty much just as bad as the Nogatsune as an adult. So, yeah, he's powerful, dude. I'm telling you, he's no joke. Hennig is very powerful. He's a very powerful Nogatsune. So, I think Misha was already sick one day, and Hennig was like, Misha, come with me. I have something to show you. So he tricked her. The Nogatsune told him what to do. He used his powers to implant like a tumor in her, gave her cancer, and pretty much Misha was like, none of we're supernaturals. How the hell can we have cancer? And it was like a special form of it. It's like exclusive to the verse. Like it's not a real life form of cancer, but it was like a special form of it. It had like supernatural properties too, to kill the person who had it faster. The Nogatsune sounds like a god the way it plays with the lives of mortals. Yeah, the Nogatsune doesn't really care. He just likes doing stuff for fun. He's pretty much like a child within a child's mind, pretty much. That's why I was talking about like he can't tell the difference between right and wrong. That's why he thought like in giving her cancer would be funny, because he can't tell the difference between that being the wrong thing to do. So will this series have crazy plot armor, or will the main character not be safe either? I wouldn't really say there's plot armor. Scott definitely goes through some shit. Like, he definitely goes through some trials and errors that he has to, just work over. He's not as much of a Gary Stu as Scott McCall is. So, yeah, Rex, that's the best way to put the Nogatsune. He's very misguided. That's actually a perfect way of describing it. And then, yeah, right. So going back to the whole backstory on him. So Misha's like, why did you give me this? And Hennig tells her, he was like, oh, I didn't come up with the idea. My Nogatsune did. And he thought it would be funny. And I thought it would be funny too. So yeah, he has a very effed up way of looking at the world. It's very messed up. But yeah, these villains they have some pretty crazy backstories, man. The Nogatsune is really like Loki. Then, yeah, pretty much, I would describe him kind of like Loki. So yeah, that's Hennig. The next villain is Matthew McConaughey. He will be playing the Allfather. So basically, the Allfather is like this universe's version of the Benefactor, but he's very different. He's not like the Benefactor at all. He is actually a siphoner. So he's the first siphoner we encounter in the series, and he's also related to another villain, and we'll get to that at the end of the villains list. So yeah, that is the main villain of book number 4. Oh, also Hennig does some stuff to Scott's pack where it's very spoiler heavy, and let's just say a bunch of characters. I wouldn't say a bunch of characters, but a lot of important characters bite the dust in this arc. So yeah, Hennig, one of the most important villains in the series, one of the villains who affects Scott the most in the series for sure, without question. So yeah. Then next is Theo. Cody Christian, of course, had to bring him back for all the people. Oh, I thought you were talking of the Allfather Odin himself. No, bro. Nah. No Odin, bro. I'm sorry. Sorry, man. But yeah, Theo, of course, is back. He's still a Chimera. Chimeras, the way they work, they're different since there's no Dread Doctors. They're kind of like Greek mythology type of chimeras, if you want to look at it like that. So, yeah. So Cody Christian's back. Theo. Next is Jordan Leahy. Gave him Isaac's last name from Teen Wolf. But Ryan Kelly, he is going to be a villain in this. And he is, of course, a Hellhound. Did not change. All right. So a lot of people said, is the Hellhound going to get its own form? So it is, and the closest I can actually compare the Hellhound to, let's see. I think this would be it right here. Or Got it. Got it, guys. Hold on. So, gotta share my screen real quick. Sorry about that. I'll go back to the wiki after I show you guys what the Hellhound is gonna look like. So the Hellhound will look like this. This will be Hellhound, the Hellhound's like monster form. So not that whack crap from Teen Wolf where it was a guy in underwear. Does Parrish have Cerberus still? Yes, he does. This is Cerberus's true form. So this will be the form Parrish transforms into. So yes, this is what the Hellhound like wolfed out or like fully transformed will look like. And yes, the Hellhound will fight the Beast. It'll be an epic fight. It's really dope. It'll be not a long fight, but it'll be a pretty decently long fight. It'll be basically a fight to the death. So yeah, this is what Hellhounds, or at least Parrish's Hellhound will look like. Who do you have Taylor Lautner playing? I don't have Taylor Lautner in the series at all. There is no Taylor Lautner. I don't really like Taylor Lautner that much. So sorry. Somebody asked a question about the Were Shark, Shark Boy, and Lava Girl, bro. Honestly, that Hellhound is Cerberus's cousin and the two-headed Hellhound. I kind of just use that image to kind of just give you an idea of what the Hellhounds would look like, but that's not like Cerberus's form. It's just like what the closest it's gonna look like in the book when you read it. Honestly, the Hellhound was super whack. I would have loved something like a Hellhound in the painting. Yeah, man. Robert Pattinson should play a wereback. Now y'all are tweaking, bro. But yeah, that's him. Sebastian Valet obviously kills Marini. We had to bring him back. So this is LJ's grandfather. So yes, if you couldn't tell by LJ's last name, he is the grandson of the Beast of Jebadan. If you read the first 3 chapters, you know what LJ's main motivation is for the first 3 chapters. So if they're going to be a Hellhound werewolf hybrid, no, I haven't thought of that. And I don't think that's how the Hellhounds are going to work. Nah, sorry, man. But yeah, this is LJ's grandfather. He gets revived back from the dead in Volume 5. How that happens is a spoiler. I'm not going to tell you. But yeah, a lot of you guys are probably like, how the hell is that LJ's grandfather? That's a white dude. LJ's black. Obviously, dude married a black woman. Then the son was a black guy. Oh, he was mixed, but when you look at LJ's dad, he's black. You can clearly tell he's black. Then LJ married a black, or Lamont's dad had him with a black woman, and that's how LJ is like fully African American, and his dad's like I might try making a wiki for True Alpha. It's not going to be anything fancy though. Yeah, if it could be like if it's set up like Teen Wolf wiki, that would be great. That would be fantastic. Like I would like the wiki to be set up like that, like the official one. So yeah, that's the Beast. Next is a character named Jerry Dandred. He is the first vampire we're introduced to. So yes, this is when vampires start getting introduced. If you guys are familiar with him, his name is Colin Farrell. He played Jerry in the Fright Night remake. He also played the Penguin in the Batman, the one with Robert Pattinson that just came out a few months ago. So this is the guy who played the Penguin in Batman from this year. So yeah, really good actor. He's playing one of the main vampire villain from from book number 6. So yeah, first appearance of vampires. Then we got Douglas back. Lowen Minch, of course, had to bring back Pete Plozek, fantastic actor. Garrett Nowitzki, of course, had to give him a German last name. But yes, Lowen Minches are back. So yeah, that's him. Andrew freaking Garfield is the main villain of True Alpha book number 7. He will be playing a zombie / ghoul type of character. He's more so like a graveyard ghoul. He's pretty much undead, so he's kind of like a zombie / graveyard ghoul. He's playing a serial killer named Oswald Mans, who's like a zombie he's like a zombie ghoul. Oh yeah, we got we got 2 Spider-Men. If you think that's all, wait to see who the rest of the villains face models are. So yes, Andrew Garfield is the main villain of book number 7. The secondary main villain of book number 7 is Tom Holland. He will be Andrew Garfield's younger brother in True Alpha. So yes, Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland are siblings in this. They are both like zombies, kind of undead, and they both share the main villain role of book number 7. So yeah, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, and Tobey Maguire are all in True Alpha. They all play different characters. So yeah, both of Tom Holland will be Andrew Garfield's younger brother. So is the Lowen Minch still a were-lion or wolf or just a lion man? He's a lion man. There's no were-lion wolf hybrid. It's just a lion man. So yeah. That's Tom Holland. Next will be the clown inspired by Pennywise, obviously, and that'll be Bill freaking Skarsgård. So yes, the clown will be the main villain of True Alpha season or True Alpha book number 8. And he's kind of like Pennywise, not really. And this book is very important because it expands the True Alpha mythos pretty expansively to the point where we start getting introduced to multiversal type of stuff. So yeah, it's pretty substantial villain here. What is a siphoner anyway? Basically somebody who can take powers pretty much and use them as their own. That's pretty much what a siphoner is in True Alpha for my book. Then you got Brandon Takahashi, the member, the were shark who was part of Liam's pack. When Liam finds him there, he's a villain at first, but then he joins Liam's pack eventually. Then we get into big stuff. This is end of the series type stuff. So we're getting into pretty big villains here. First of the bunch, we have the youngest of the original first 3 species of supernaturals. So Silas Vanstock is Paul Wesley from the Vampire Diaries, Stefan Salvatore. He will play the first ever immortal in True Alpha. So Paul Wesley is, do they take it permanently? Yes, they do. Rex, to answer your question, yes, they do. Does True Alpha have sorcerers? No, they don't. So yes, Paul Wesley will play one of the. Actually, he'll play the main villain of the second half of book number 9. So Brandon's the main villain of the first half of book number 9, and Paul Wesley's the main villain of the second half. Then we get into what everybody was asking for about what type of lore werewolves and vampires have. So yes, the first werewolf and the first vampire will be the main villains of True Alpha book number 10. And the actors who play them will pretty much excite and make everybody happy. So Marcus Vanstock, who is the world's first vampire in True Alpha, will be played by the guy who played Marcus in Underworld Evolution. So how many books do you want it to be, or is it till you run out of ideas? I already know it's 12 books. So it's 12 books is the series. It's 12 books. So the guy who played Marcus in Underworld will play the first ever vampire in True Alpha, Marcus Vanstock. So And he will also be the older brother of Silas Paul Wesley's character. So yeah, pretty exciting if you ask me. It was I think his name is Tony Curran, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I was pretty excited to add the guy who played Marcus from Underworld in this because I love Underworld Evolution and I love Marcus in that film. And I was like, bro, I want a Marcus type of character in Underworld, or not in Underworld, in True Alpha. Why not just bring Marcus into True Alpha? So yeah, and his brother is dun 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 Joseph Morgan Klaus Michelson from the Vampire Diaries and the originals. He will play the twin brother of Marcus and the first ever werewolf in the True Alpha universe. So yes, Klaus freaking Michelson is here. Joseph Morgan is the first ever werewolf and the strongest werewolf in the True Alpha universe. So there you go. All the people who are asking, is Joseph Morgan here? Yes, he is. Alongside Marcus from Underworld both of those characters will be the main villains for True Alpha Season 10. Marcus, the first ever vampire. William, the first ever werewolf. So yes, Marcus from Underworld and Joseph Morgan are siblings. They're both twin brothers. So yeah, that was really cool to come up with that. So yeah, hopefully everybody's excited about Joseph Morgan and Marcus from Underworld, man, because I am. That was some genius level planning right there on my part for book number 10. Then we get into the big plot line I mentioned earlier, where I talked about there being an apocalypse in True Alpha, and when somebody said that the government find out about supernatural creatures, these are the villains of the 11th book, the second to last book, where the entire world finds out about supernatural creatures and their existence, and the United States government does. So we have Arcadius, who will be played by the guy who played Korath the Pursuer in the MCU, Digimon Han Xiao. He was also in the Kingsman from last year. He is the first Archangel. So, yes, I mentioned Archangels are a thing in True Alpha. He will be playing the first ever Archangel in True Alpha, and he's also the main villain of True Alpha book number 11, also known as the Apocalypse storyline. So yeah, big stuff for later on at the end of the series. So that's Cade. Next will be the Four Horsemen, who I haven't really picked yet. I don't know who I want to play the Fourth Horseman of the Apocalypse. Y'all all know War, Death, Pestilence, and Famine. Don't know who I have to play those yet, but yeah, I'll figure that out soon. Then we have basically like Spawn, but not Spawn, but Spawn, pretty much. If you're familiar with the character Spawn in comics, he's played by Michael J. White. Fantastic actor. He was actually Jax in Mortal Kombat. Was it Legacy, or it was the one fan-made Mortal Kombat movie that came out in 2010? But a couple of you guys might know who Michael J. White is. He's playing a demon named Daemonius. But his real name is Damian Walker. Now, I'm not going to get into who this character is because he's very important to LJ's character. Like, he's very important to LJ's backstory and why LJ is the way he is throughout most of the series of True Alpha. So, yeah, a very important character here. Then we get into the final book of the series, book number 12, which is the War Arc, the War for the Supernaturals. It's when the government decides that they want to pass an act called the Supernatural Registration Act, kind of like Captain America Civil War, not really, but similar, where they want to have control over all the supernaturals and pretty much control what they do. and all that sort of stuff, and it kind of creates like a conflict between humans and supernaturals and hunters and stuff. It's the final storyline of the series. And the main huntress is basically a redone version of Monroe, but she's a lot better and she's a lot more tolerable. She will be played by Lupita Nyong'o, who was, of course, Nakia from Black Panther and the mother from the Jordan Peele film Us. Her name, instead of Tamora, I changed her first name, but her name is Tanya Monroe. So, yes, Monroe in name only is back, but she's a completely different character. It's not the same Monroe. So, yeah. And then the final villain is Kai from the Vampire Diaries. Chris Wood. Had to have my boy Chris Wood on here as well. Remember when I was talking about the Allfather before and how I said there was a villain that's related to him? Malachi Savage, who is the final villain played by Chris Wood, is the nephew of the Allfather. So, yes, he will be the final villain, and he is a siphoner as well, kind of like his character from Vampire Diaries. So, yeah, Chris Wood is the final villain of True Alpha, the final main bad guy, and with that is it. So that's going to bring us to the end of the stream. 2 hours and 30 minutes of good information all y'all got on the series. Hopefully you guys enjoyed all that information. I enjoyed giving it to you guys. You guys were hella enthusiastic in the chat. You guys were very, very excited, especially for some of the castings that I made. Like, you guys were very hyped for Tobey Maguire, very hyped for Marcus from Underworld, Joseph Morgan, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, Marcel. You guys were hyped for Celine from Underworld, Curran Walters, which was a surprise, Alan Ritchson. So there were a couple of, good castings I made where you guys were pretty excited. So, yeah, thank you guys for tuning into the stream. I greatly appreciate it. I will be coming out with more True Alpha videos throughout the coming months. Obviously, as the first chapter releases, I will be coming out with overviews for all the characters on the channel so you guys can get a better understanding of the characters. And yeah, with that all said, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you're brand new watching the stream. Help us get to 9,000 subscribers. We're so close to hitting that 10K yearly goal. So if you guys can help us get there, that'd be greatly appreciated. Also, if you have not yet joined my Discord server, join the Discord server. We talk about True Alpha in there as well, and we're pretty much building a community on there. We have almost 70 people in the Discord. So if you want to join the Discord, Black Chocolate reposted the link. So thank you for that. You can click that link and join the Discord. But without further ado, I'm Jade Corner. Make sure you guys have a great rest of your day. I need a water after this because I was talking for literally 2 hours and 32 minutes straight with no breaks. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.